Hey guys, Gladys. Today on Work With Me, we'll be doing a new project, 1025 Jackson Street. This project is currently being handled by one of our engineers. So I'm just doing a QAQC, which is a quality control review for this plan. And then usually I do mark the plans up and then send it back to the engineer to make the corrections. But here I just made the corrections if they were minor enough and I resubmitted the plans. So let's engineer something. So here I'm just opening up the plans for 1025 Jackson Street, and I'm opening up all the comments and the comment responses that were provided by the engineer that's currently working on these plans. This is a DC water plan review that I just opened up, and I'm also going to be opening up the plans that he's done as well, and he's also marked them up, and he's bubbled where he's made those corrections. You can see here. And I'm just going to be going through making sure that all the corrections are properly accounted for. So here, this is comment number 1, and we're going to connect it back to the plan sheet. So here, see, looking through all comments, and we're going to scroll back up to comment number 1. Comment 1 says enter all of the tracking numbers, and see, we've entered a tracking number. Let's get around. Next comment was asking just make sure things were consistent on the SGS, which is the Surface and Groundwater System, the DOE's database. And just making sure that a lot of those informations are consistent. Like, for example, is the entire site in the combined sewerage system? Making sure that's correct. Making sure, are there any special heritage trees on the site right now? Yes, there are. There are some trees that are over 14 inch circumference or diameter. 14-inch diameter. Here, I think it's like an engineer's choice sometimes. He decided to use this pattern for a trench drain and then this pattern for a gravel diaphragm. And I think I was confused at first, so I had to check here because he decides to use that symbology for a trench drain. Because trench drains are usually just like a pipe, but it's a surface. It's like it's concave, and there's just slits inside of it. Here, I'm deciding to add more information into the response just to make sure that the reviewer thoroughly understands what's being required or being asked of. We're also working on a subdivision for this project. And so while I was doing this project, I also got an email about the subdivision, and it's basically saying that the owner didn't line up. So I think the owner had just bought the property. So as a result, the owner that was showing up on their side, the tax side, wasn't being shown as consistently. So we just need to make sure that they have recorded their deed so that we can move forward with the subdivision. Let's get around. It's another inconsistency. I've noticed that the gas line was curved. That wasn't necessary. I think that he just offset this and he wasn't thoroughly thinking. Also, it's right aligned with this I'm assuming it's an under drain. So that's also incorrect. So what I did was I moved this gas line and I shifted them, which you'll see later on. Here I saw that information about permeable concrete was still on the plans. So I was marking up, highlighting it, this location, so that I can change this sheet later and just remove that there's permeable concrete in this language here. Since we're no longer doing permeable pavement, we are now doing a infiltration trench. So we're having a solid top where water is going to drain into the trench drain at the base of the property line and drain back into the infiltration trench. While I was on this page, I noticed a few small things that I think a little bit of education would have helped, or me educating him a little bit more would have helped. So for example, the dry utilities in DC are said to be typically 3 feet below grade. So with that being said, not 4 feet. So with that being said, we can move all of these forward up. Another thing is that it was both the existing grade and the proposed grade were both listed or marked up as existing. So just making that small change and changing with the final grade to final. And I think they're easy to know that which one was final and which one was existing. Here we're looking at all the comments from DC Water and seeing that a lot of them were corrected. And we're just make sure that this is going to be applied to all the sheets. Here, I'm removing up the gas line and electric line as well as the gas line up. We already moved them up about a foot, and now we're just moving up the whole line itself by a foot, and we're making the adjustments to the inverts right here by a foot, 50. So it's just moving up like vertically, flipping around. Here we're adjusting the stationing as a result of that shift of where the bend is located. Some of this information we cannot provide yet. For example, the approved subdivision, we are still working on that because, as you saw, there's a few bumps in the road along the ride for that. Another thing is that they're asking for, and because we don't have the approved subdivision yet, we can't provide the declaration form to DC Water or approved and we cannot provide approved DOE plans because we are currently working on that. So those items have not been bubbled because we cannot yet provide. A lot of things are minor, like here, overlapping text. So we did is just go into the CAD file and shifted that keynote so that DC Waters are clearly able to see what that is. Again, more overlapping text. So what we did here instead is we created 3 separate sheets so that we can have the stationing on one sheet, dimensions on one sheet, so everything's a little bit more clean. Here, what we've been doing is make the corrections to these 2 utility lines. First, we have to bring in the X site. So once that's brought in, here, brought it to push it to the back, and for this one in particular, because we do not want this utility to be under the infiltration trench. So we're making the adjustment where we're just bringing the gas line before it. We're making it straight because it is a pressure line, so it can go straight. And we're also going to adjust the electric line from there by 3 feet. As you can see here, we have the gas line going straight about 1 foot away from the house, because most likely there would be a meter here. It go from there. And then we offset this again by 3 feet, this gas line by 3 feet for the connection into the building. We'll then do a bend of 3 feet, which is the minimum bend for a gas conduit. And then we will match this and close. Here, we're just correcting the meter sizing worksheet for DC Water. What I usually do is I get the pressure sizes and I compare that to what's shown there. So we'll highlight them. This is the easiest method for me. We start at the max length and we go over. So it says 141. I guess we could have done 150, but we did 200. And then we go over to, it's about the same. It would be about the same regardless. Here we're realigning the keynotes based off of us adjusting the gas line and the electric line for this particular house. Here we're adjusting that language as we showed earlier. There's no longer a permeable pavement, and it's now just an infiltration trench. Just making sure that all the keynotes are there, and I'm revising the rationale and the responses to the comments so that there is a bit more clear to the reviewer. This is basically talking about overflow onto public space. We have a trench drain along the property line, which should be handling overflow into public space. So we are trying to get as much water from draining into public space as possible via the trench drain, and that water will be going into the infiltration trench. This was a wrong project that we opened. Here I noticed that the one of the sheets of the compliance spreadsheet was missing. So you see here it says 3 out of 4. It's plagued. And I went in a little bit later and I added that sheet into this plan set. Here we go. So now all 4 sheets are there. The last sheet is a bit important because it contains that we're using tree preservation in order to meet stormwater management regulations in public space. Here's making sure the last couple comments are made. And we have up to 46 comments on this project. So like one of the comments said that We can't have him that if it's within 10 feet of the building, we need to have permeable liner. So that note was here, but we're just highlighting it right here so that the reviewer does see that that comment was met. So after all that was done, we ended up sending 2 separate emails to DC Water because they accept their plans via email only. So especially after COVID, before COVID, it was we had to print the plans and then submit 2 sets in a CD. Now we just submit the plans virtually via email. And now here is the revised plan as well, the comments. And also we upload the plans onto the DOE database. We had to reduce it because the plans, they were previously over 100. The plan set was over 100 megabytes, I believe. Don't get me to the line. Over 100 megabytes, and we had to reduce it to under. So that took a little bit of time, and now we are submitting the plans. Submit. And DDOT is also submitted and signed, and it's under review. DDOT is under review. DC Water has been resubmitted, and DOEE is now under review as well. Subdivision is pending the deed, so yeah. Okay, so we got the plan submitted. I think my engineer did a great job on the review and revising the plan set per the comments, and hopefully we get either very minimal comments or approval on next round. Either way, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time, and share if you care. Thank you. Bye.